I notified my work weeks ago that I was leaving for a family vacation in July, and I bought non-transferable tickets, but now they are begging me to cancel my whole trip, and I need a sanity check. Posted by you/educated vegetable. I work in admin in a niche but important, multinational industry. I am a knowledgeable, reliable cog, and I pick up a lot of slack as we are incredibly short-staffed with plans to add more because it's working out fine for right now blah blah. My boss is going on vacation, and she and I were comparing dates and realized they line up. She immediately told me I had to cancel. I told her I can't, things are non-refundable, since I am a cog, I never considered my manager's schedule. That is not my job. She told me she could deny my PTO, and if I go, I would be released. Great. I go to her boss, and say let's make a plan. They say okay great, and I build a schedule for task coverage, including him taking a few hours each day to sit at my desk and doing my in-person job of fielding industry questions, or taking their info. I'd follow up later, and I offer to log in, paid, for a couple hours every day to help support. He says cool, I'll present this to the higher-ups. My boss's boss told me that the higher-ups think that he's too important and high-paid to sit at a front admin office for any amount of time. Then the board comes up with a great idea. We'll just offer to reschedule my vacation. They offered a few $100 to cover scheduling fees. I calculated the fees, they are way more than a few $100. Talking thousands as hotels, travel, transport, everything for 4 I book in advance so I can just relax. We do this because it's not just my life, but my partner's summer schedule and his 2 kids, and their crazy schedules with sports, split custody, their bio mom's vacation plans, a whole thing. They asked me to cancel it and go some other time. I said a firm no. The kids are finally old enough to comfortably travel internationally, they are excited, and I'm not telling them we can't go because work won't let me. Huh? My thing is, I'm a cog. Should I have double-checked everyone's calendar before scheduling? Sure, but I'm not a managing party. I haven't experienced something like this in my entire working life. I've previously notified upper management of my vacation time at the beginning of the year just like this, and they just say okay great thanks for letting us know. Why is my leaving for 7 working days leaving the office in such a panic? There are options to resolve this, like having someone come from another department for a couple days here, another a couple days there, and I offered to support remotely. Also, my vacation is scheduled for July? I tell you in February? Also, shouldn't this be a reasonable indicator of how short-staffed a department is if 2 people being out for any extended period of time throws a wrench into everything? Did I do something wrong? Is there something I'm not seeing? Any insight or advice would be amazing. ETA, I am a woman. Commenter 1, July is ample time for them to figure out a temporary situation if they truly can't because you're just that unique then they can't exactly fire you. Commenter 2, just imagine if you were in an accident and were incapacitated, they'd have to figure it out. Never think you're so indispensable you can't be replaced. You can and will be without thought. OP, that's a good point. Update, 1 month later. I need another sanity check. Summary, I notified my workplace in March that I would be going on vacation in July. Dates overlap with my bosses, who panicked and told me she would deny my leave and it would be job abandonment. Cool. So, some time has passed, and upper management is absolutely begging me to reconsider, reschedule, cancel, anything so that I am here for the time our dates overlap. Overlapping time? 5 work days. They keep telling me they have to consider the needs of the business, that they will pay for rescheduling fees, in the thousands. They keep asking me to pull up or answer for my personal calendar to cajole me into rescheduling to come back early to cover some of the time. They keep saying but you know how busy it gets, look at your metrics. On top of this, we had 2 people leave the department in as many months, and we are being told no additional personnel will be hired. The reason why no one is being hired? Is because I've absorbed most of the workload and see, it's fine, we don't need more people. Great. The thing is, know how busy it gets. That's why I booked a family vacation during the slowest time of the year and told y'all in March that I wouldn't be here. I wasn't asking. I feel like I'm going crazy with 6 people telling me I'm being unreasonable, inflexible, and putting them in a bad position. I even made a temporary schedule for other departments to cover my work for that time, again, 5 days, and was told it's not going to be considered, because other departments are already short-staffed. It just really is making me feel like all personnel issues are falling onto me. The thing is, I'm looking at the job market right now, and it is bleak out there, recession indicators waving red flags. Sure, I could get a new job, but not at my pay scale or in my field right away. I'm seriously considering making my part of my family trip shorter so I can come back early. Do I hold strong, or do I let them bully me into changing my vacation plans so I have job security? Seriously asking, because I feel like I'm actually going crazy from the stress. Update 2. 1 month later, final update. Hopefully, I linked the post correctly. Thanks to all who commented or interacted with me on the previous posts. All comments were read, considered, and offered many perspectives I didn't consider, so thank you. In short, I notified my employer months in advance that I was leaving for vacation. They needed coverage for 5 days, and they told me that if I went, I would not have a job when I returned. Cool. After some reflection and your encouraging comments, I decided to look for another job in the industry I work in. It's pretty niche, so the major players know of or have met each other. I reached out to a vendor of the company I currently work for, and they immediately offered me a position, fully remote and at the same pay scale. They said I can start now, later, whenever. They are stoked to have me on the team. They mentioned I have a great reputation, and all of our vendor interactions have been positive, and because they were a vendor they couldn't approach me, but they were happy I reached out to them. I'm over the moon. I gave my current position a month's notice, am training my replacement over the next 2 weeks, taking a short break, and then starting my new remote position. And, I get to keep my vacation with no hassle. Smile. All in all, I'm really happy how this all worked out and not sure if I would have pursued anything new without my current position treating me so poorly, so honestly, kind of have to thank them for opening my eyes. Commenter, how did they react to you leaving? If they can't cover you for 5 days, I would expect them to panic even more over replacing you. OP, they were mostly resigned, made a counteroffer, but I respectfully declined. They asked if I could stay an additional week, and I also declined that, saying I wanted to establish my routine with the new company and that I wanted to focus on my growth there. I thank them for everything I've learned while with them, and the opportunity to move on wouldn't have been a possibility without them, which is true. These last couple weeks have been a mad scramble for them to get a replacement, and frankly they are in for a fun awakening when they realize they are taking on the job of about 3 people, but this workload will be up to management to decide how to allocate. Not my problem anymore.